What up, all my Mingas, and welcome to the Minga Sports Podcast. I'm Nacho.
I'm Garuta.
Hey, so you ever
Hey.
you ever have it when your high school coach is a felon?
The way you worded that was so not how I would have done it. Just the way you started this. We're just talking about the Bishop Sycamore High School situation. And I think it's hysterical. I think this entire situation is just funny. They basically got a game somehow
On
with
ESPN.
on ESPN. They got a primetime high school showcase game against the top high school in the nation.
They probably
And
practiced a week before the
no, no, no,
game.
no. There was they had a game 3 days before this game.
Oh,
I don't know who they played, but they had a game 3 days before this game. So they're going on like 48 hours rest into this game against the top school, and they're not even a school.
they're an online school.
They're an online school without a football program.
Who pays
I
for the
think
unis?
I don't know.
They just
But
got
they
got big T-shirts over the
They were really
pad.
fucking ugly. But I think there's the football section on like a website or something, and under the about tab, it's just blank. There's just nothing under the about tab about their football team. So they're not a team playing the best team. Their has an arrest warrant out for him. And he also allegedly got fired after last game for obvious reasons. But these guys just wanted like
because he
some
didn't
clout.
win the game.
It's because he didn't win the game. That's right. These guys just wanted some clout. They went to ESPN and told them that they had multiple D1 prospects.
No, it's just
clearly,
a couple
not true.
a couple of assholes who like football went, hey, wouldn't this be funny if we just tricked
It's
the
like
nation?
it's like an AAU game for basketball. It's like that, except it was supposed to be like actually under high school names. But what is it? I think one of their O linemen was committed to Alabama. Their quarterback was committed to somewhere in the SEC. Like, they had actual big name players on the number one ranked school.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just playing a bunch of kids from Ohio.
Yeah.
Like, and they're also aged 15 to 21.
Well, also
is not allowed.
To be fair, it's in Ohio. What else happens there?
Literally nothing. The
Yeah.
only thing relevant about Ohio is football.
Yeah, it was Justin Fields, and now they have the kid.
No, it was Joe Burrow first.
Oh, that's true. And now they got the high school kid who is skipping his senior year to get $1 million.
He said, "I'm not gonna do my senior year of high school. I'm gonna go get recruited by Ohio State and make a lot of money with endorsements."
So he's, 16, possibly 17. He's only a junior.
No, he's no older than 17 right now.
Yeah, no, he can't be older than 17. I think it'll be funny if he was 16. And he's just like, yep, gonna make money.
I'm gonna play for Ohio State. That's like funny until you realize like a lot of other people are gonna start doing this.
I think
Could you imagine the publicity if Arch Manning did this right now?
Oh.
Down in Louisiana.
Wait, he's 18.
Who?
The kid. He was born in 2003. Oh, he stayed back.
Yeah, I was about to say that Ohio education system really did treat him right, huh?
That makes sense why he would skip his senior year. He's already done high school for 4 years.
Yeah. So Bishop Sycamore, I thought that was just a funny story that we'd start out with. Their coach does have an arrest warrant out for him for fraud. Even before this game. So what a good segment.
Also, the kid, his name's Quinn Ewers. I don't know how to say his last. He's made $1.4 million. He signed a deal.
Are you fucking kidding me? How? Oh man, he's gonna blow it all. He's gonna blow it all. Gonna go.
I really want
overall
him
in the draft.
Yeah, and then
just off of name recognition, and then flop.
And
in
then
the NFL probably.
Yeah. I mean, nobody needs a quarterback right now, but he does have 4 years. Who needs a quarterback in 4 years?
The Bucks.
No,
the
Bucks
Vikings.
are set. They just drafted their quarterback. They seem very happy with Kyle Trask.
Okay. The Vikings.
Yeah.
The Lions. The Packers. The NFC North.
Yeah.
really needs, probably in 4 years, depending on Justin Fields. Because he did sign a 4-year deal, and if he's not the one, then the Bears are going to need a quarterback.
They're going to just ship him off to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Because by then, Mitchell should have his own team, hopefully.
Yeah. Houston. There's a decent amount of teams that need one, or might need one. I mean, Russell Wilson's getting up there in age, too.
Yeah, but wasn't he...
He was like a 2012 or 2013 draft pick?
No, I'm thinking of the NFL Top 100. Was he, like...
He was ranked 14.
I was going to say, I think he was above top 10.
He was 14. And we're going to cover the NFL Top 100 next week, because there was a lot that happened, mostly today, because it is cut day, that we have to talk about, because it would be very irrelevant next week.
Russ is 32.
Yeah, so 4 years he's 36, and at that point you're Rodgers' age.
At that point
and he can do a lot. He does a lot with his legs, and you can see him start to slow down with that already. So I think in 4 years Seattle might start looking for a new guy.
Yeah, that's 100% right.
Yeah, maybe even the Rams in 4 years with Stafford. Stafford probably doesn't have much left.
Stafford's been rotting in Detroit for so long that he's only gonna have so much to give to the Rams. He's 33.
Yeah, Stafford was the result of the 0-16 team, I believe. I think he was that number 1 overall draft pick. But the next topic we're going on is
a little sadder one.
Yeah, this is actually a really sad topic. The New Orleans Saints.
Hurricane Ida is not doing well, and of course, prayers
and
love
fucked them over.
to the families in New Orleans.
Yeah, always.
But on football news,
the Saints don't really have a place.
Where the Saints gonna play
as of right now?
I mean, they're gonna, I assume, ask Houston.
No, they're asking Dallas.
Or in Dallas. That's right.
They're currently practicing in Dallas at AT&T Stadium, I believe. And if the Superdome isn't ready for football in a week and a half, then they're probably going to be playing their season opener there. So my question to you is, how badly does it hurt them? How badly does this whole situation hurt New Orleans in the long run? Their week 1 matchup is against Green Bay, by the way.
Well, already a tough matchup because Rodgers was like, "Yeah, I'll come back." I mean, it's a whole different feel, home field advantage versus away, and it's not, even if they're home, they're not at home.
They're basically going to be playing at a neutral site,
which is really I know when I played football, I didn't like away games. One, because I thought white jerseys don't look good. I probably personally like the blue ones.
Nice.
Yeah, just let it look better. But it's yeah, you're there often, but like it's
Mhm.
different. The crowd, you get so used to your own audience. Um, as you know, in the NFL, you get so used to the chants and the
Yeah, you got
what
like
you're gonna
your own.
hear.
You got your own crowd. You know how they're gonna vibe really, and then
Yeah,
you go
Saints
to
fans are gonna go to AT&T and root for you, but it's not the same.
yeah. I think I don't even think like it hurts them as much for the game. I think like
And financially,
their
the yeah.
their practice and travel schedule is gonna be fucked right now.
Oh yeah,
Like when you think about that, travel's a huge part of this game. Like, especially when you got teams from West Coast going to East Coast, they got to adjust time zones, they got to do all that. And like a team having to like mess up all their travel stuff, it's going to ruin them financially. It might take its mental toll on players and coaches, and I think it's going to affect them mentally before physically. But, you got Jameis Winston going into AT&T Stadium, so we'll see how that turns out.
you're also tickets aren't being sold at their home stadium, so that's a financial loss.
Yeah, you're losing a lot of money because NFL owners depend a lot on ticket sales. Like
Yeah,
COVID really like hurt people last year, especially when you are a big team like perennial playoff contenders like the Saints. So I think it's gonna hurt them in many different ways, not just how they perform in Week 1 against Green Bay.
yeah,
Next topic.
yeah, sir.
The NFC East goes 1-11-1 in the preseason. Are they still going to be the worst division this year?
Uh, maybe. I don't know. I feel like there's so much hype around Washington.
I
Uh,
don't know why. Listen, I know I'm the Giants fan saying this. I don't understand the hype around Washington. Their defensive front is good, like very good. I'll give you that. They have two good receivers in Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel, like who fit the wide receiver 1 and 2 very well. But like, besides Brandon Scherf at guard, who else do you have on that team?
I mean that Chase Young fellow is
That's why I said their defensive front is very good.
yeah,
I'll
I
I'll
know.
give them that. I'll give them props on that one.
Uh,
And my offensive line's gonna get fucked
they
up at
got
twice a year.
they got a little sneak peek, but they got QB1 Fitzmagic.
Yeah, but is he really great?
He's old.
Yeah, like he's going into his ninth team, his fourth and or no, his third and fourth in 4 years. His ninth team
He's
overall. It's like
38.
yeah, it's what his 14th, 15th, 16th NFL season. Like he's old. He can't stay like on a team. I don't like. He always puts up average stats, maybe slightly below. But I mean, running. Who do you have for running back? You have Antonio Gibson, who's who he did pretty good last year, but he might hit a sophomore slump. And then tight end, you have what is it? Joe Thomas, Logan Thomas. That's who it is. Who performed, but I believe injuries kept him sidelined for a couple weeks. And then I could not name a single player in their secondary. But I mean, I don't understand the hype around Washington. The hype around Dallas, I understand, but I just don't think it's gonna happen.
No.
Dak is coming back.
Dallas
They
is
have
gonna have their moments. They're not gonna do anything special.
Yeah, Dallas. Dak is a good quarterback.
Yeah,
I would not
he got paid
rank
for it.
him. He got
He got
paid to
paid
be a
too
good quarterback.
much, but
Way too much. He's currently the third highest paid quarterback. He was the second when he signed the deal, and then Josh Allen said, "What if I signed the deal?" But I don't know. The Cowboys have all of the offensive capabilities to be a great team, but the defense is lacking so much. Like, you got Micah Parsons, and that's about it. The defense is going to give up so many points that I don't know if the offense can realistically make it up. And if they're up against a good defense, then they're actually just fucked. So
No, you're kind of right.
the Giants is kind of the opposite. We got a lot of defensive like studs: Leonard Williams, James Bradbury, Blake Martinez, Logan Ryan, Dexter Lawrence. Like a lot of great players on defense, and then the offense just kind of. We have a good receiving core, and we got
You
Saquon.
got Saquon.
But we're gonna talk about the offensive line later. And Dan Jones really needs to prove himself
He
this
needs
year.
to have a breakout.
I will stand under the this is a make or break year for Daniel Jones.
I don't know why everybody's saying, "Oh, it's not a make or break year." You know,
Who is saying that? Can I know who is saying that? Because
like half the Instagram posts about Dan Jones is, he's fine. He's a good quarterback. It's not a make or break year. I've seen a lot of those posts.
he's good. He just needs to stop turning the ball over. And I get part of that is due to like our offensive line being dog shit. But again, more on that later. So what divisions could possibly be worse than the NFC East? I'm not even going to talk about the Eagles because the Eagles are going to be a bad team. I don't care who you got at Jalen Hurts to Devonta Smith. I don't care. They're not going to be a good team. So, what other division could be worse?
Not really any.
Yeah, I think you can rule out the AFC and NFC West.
The NFC South. I mean, the Bucks and Saints are going to have winning seasons. Panthers, Falcons are going to be.
Well, will the Saints have a winning season?
Probably.
Do you think that they will like have a winning season, make playoffs, stuff like that?
Yeah.
I don't think they make playoffs. I don't know. I think they're entering a rebuild mode to where I don't know if they can win enough games to make the playoffs.
I'd love to see Jameis Winston back in action. I mean, he might just go back to being like, hey, 30-30. But he could fix the problem, and if he fixed the problem, that's good for the Saints.
See, the thing is, it doesn't even depend on the season. It depends on it goes really game to game.
Yeah.
Like, didn't Jameis have like 4 turnovers in a game in that 30 for 30 year? Or something ridiculous? He had like 4 or 5 turnovers.
I think it was 5.
Yeah. So if you have that, that's already 1/6 of your total for the season in one game. And I'm looking at the Saints' schedule.
Not good?
Not great. They play the NFC East and the AFC East. And then they have games against Tennessee, Seattle, and Green Bay. So they lose all of their other. So they lose Green Bay, Seattle, Tennessee. They lose to the Bucks twice. They lose to Buffalo. They probably lose to Dallas. They lose to Miami. That's already 8 losses. I think they go 1-1 with Carolina, and then they beat Atlanta twice. So 9 losses. I'll give them the win against New York, both New York teams, Washington, Philly. One against Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Two against Atlanta. And then I think the most interesting game on the schedule is the New England game. I think this Saints versus Patriots game is going to be very interesting.
Why do you say that?
Because they're both teams that no one knows how they're going to perform, really.
Yeah, that's kind of right.
Like, they both have new starting quarterbacks. They, like, their defenses have shown bright flashes, but not, like, they don't really have a lot of depth on either side of the ball. I think it's just going to be interesting. I think they're both so close. But, like, you're already looking at a mediocre season for the Saints. Just looking at automatic. If you give them every other, like... if you give them... If you give them New England as a win, and maybe Dallas as a win, then you might get a 7th seed playoffs. But I don't think that's going to happen. So...
Yeah, you're making a pretty good point on why the NFC South is kind of a stinker.
It's kind of dog shit.
Take out the Bucks. I mean, they just bought a good team. Yeah, they're going to be good. They bought good guys.
The Falcons, I expect to have a top 3 draft pick. That goes without saying. Carolina, I don't see them getting... I see them getting 2 wins against the Falcons, a win against Houston, and a win against Philly. And that's about it. I see them getting 4 wins. Maybe 5 or... Maybe squeak out 5 or 6. But, like, I don't see them doing very well. And then the Bucks are just gonna...
The Bucks is the Bucks.
The Bucks is the Bucks. I think the Bucks might regress a little this year.
They'll be in the NFC Championship.
I'm hoping they regret. I think they're going to be in there just because the rest of the NFC is just bad. Like, you're going to have the NFC West, whatever fucking team comes out of the NFC East, which is going to lose in the first round.
Gauntlet.
It's going to lose in the first round. Honestly, flip a coin. Roll a dice. Like, that's who's going to come in for the NFC East, and then they're going to lose in the first round. And then the NFC North is just going to be Green Bay.
It's just the Packers.
Maybe Minneapolis comes in at a wild card spot.
Minneapolis?
Minnesota. I don't know why I said Minneapolis. Why did I say the city? Oh my! I'm looking at the Bucks schedule. Why are these tickets so expensive?
Tom Brady.
Oh. All right, so I'm gonna read you the 3 most expensive tickets, and I want you to guess the team that they're playing. 244.
Okay.
Tickets as low as $244.
So those are garbage seats.
Yeah, those are nosebleeds. Who's playing that game? Who are the Bucks playing?
There's how many of the 240?
Yeah.
There's 2 games I can think of. So you said there's 3.
Yeah, I'll give you who they're playing. They're playing the NFC South. So they're in the NFC South division. They're playing the NFC East and the AFC
and then
East.
The Pats.
The NFC East and the AFC East, and then they're playing
so Cowboys,
the Rams.
Cowboys, then it's Rams. Cowboys, Pats, and Rams.
What?
Cowboys?
No, they're playing the Rams, the Bears, and the Colts.
Those are the expensive
are the
games?
3 other games. No. So they're playing the entirety of the NFC East, the entirety of the AFC East. Then they're playing against the Colts, the Bears, and the Rams. Those are your options of which games you can choose from.
I see. And this is the cheapest one?
This is the cheapest one of the 3. Is $244.
Um, hmm. Wait, how many AFC teams do they play? They don't play the Chiefs this year, do they?
No, they play the AFC East and the Colts.
Okay.
It is an AFC. It's an AFC team.
It's the Patriots.
No.
No, I'm not saying this one.
Oh.
I'm saying the Patriots has got to be the most expensive. It's got to be. That or opening day against Dallas. I have no fucking clue.
So 240s against Buffalo.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense.
What should have been the Super Bowl?
Yeah, at Buffalo or
no, in Tampa.
Oh,
right.
So yeah.
The second is 255.
What's the other price?
no.
Just to compare.
No,
is it that much? Okay, then that's Dallas. That's gotta be Dallas. Opening day.
It is Dallas.
How much? How much is New England? Wait, let me guess how much New England is.
Yeah, guess how much New England
for nosebleeds.
For nosebleeds, guess at Gillette
in Foxborough. 320.
540. Tickets as low as $540.
I think when I looked I looked at these tickets before and they were not that high, but also that's because they got bought up.
Well, the scalpers got them.
Jesus.
There is one other price above 200, and that is against the Bears.
Why?
For some reason, I don't know.
Who wants to watch the Bears lose?
I would think it'd be against like the Colts or the Dolphins, but the Colts tickets are under 100. So I don't know. But yeah, the Bucs are probably going to get a lot of wins this season. Potential losses are the Rams, the Dolphins,
New England,
the Colts, the Bills. Not New England.
Hey,
New England's not winning that game.
You don't know.
The Giants. The Giants are gonna win just because of history.
Yeah, fuck you.
Did I say Buffalo already? Probably. Rams, Dolphins, Colts, Bills. Yeah. I give them 4, maybe 5 losses. So that would put them at, 12-5? And then the rest of the division is dog shit. So
they win it, yeah.
Yeah, they win all their division games. I think that goes without question.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, because their home game, if they played in New Orleans in prime time, I would say maybe the Saints win, but they play at home in prime time, so they probably are going to win. Yeah, so I think the NFC East is not good.
No.
I think the NFC is definitely the worst conference. That goes, without a doubt. AFC teams are so much better.
Yeah, AFC teams kind of good.
You have 2. What is it? A 10-win team had to not go to the playoffs last year in the AFC. The Dolphins had 10 wins, and they didn't make the playoffs, which doesn't happen very often. The only team I can think of is the 2010 Chargers, where they had 10 wins and the number 1 defense and the number 1 offense, but literally last place for special teams, so they lose.
Yeah, there's too many postseason teams in the AFC.
There's too many postseason teams.
But
Just
I kind of
expand the
like it.
playoff. Expand the playoffs to 8 at this point. Might as well.
Yeah, but I also like it that way. Like, would you rather have like teams who are going to win the Super Bowl every year, or most of the teams are good and like games are nail biters?
Yeah, I'd rather have good games, but the NFL cares about money, so they really only care about the number of games. All right, let's move on to your. This is going to be your favorite topic of
Yeah.
the
So
day.
yeah, it is. So on Instagram at Pro Football Focus posted the rookie quarterback preseason
This is on
rankings.
Instagram.
Yes.
I scoured the internet for like 10 minutes looking for these numbers.
They also are on the internet. It was not hard to find.
Well, I had to pay for, or I didn't have to pay because I didn't pay. I just looked it up by one. Because PFF has Edge or whatever, where you pay for every single result. And I was considering it, and then I realized I'm a broke college student, so I didn't.
I have the post favorited or
Okay.
saved.
Did I get the numbers right?
We will see. Uh,
Because this seems like it's right.
yeah, no, you're right. Anyway,
Okay.
the highest rated quarterback in the best quarterback in the draft, Mac Jones for the New England Patriots, with a 92.2 grade.
We'll get to everything else with the Patriots a little later.
Because
But I think Mac Jones definitely deserves this preseason grade.
he, I mean, he was thought to be and the quickest to be NFL ready. He was, week one, his footwork needed work, and then he worked on it, and it looked better in the second game.
You saw the progression of how much better he got from like each game you watched.
Yeah, I remember
He fucking torched the Giants. I watched that Giants game. He torched us. I hated it. But it's good to see at least something good for New England fans because they have not had anything since Brady left.
Yeah. Uh. Yeah, he's been doing good the first week of like rookie mini camp. He was the first day they were like, "Oh, this guy's awesome," and then the second day he's like, "Oh, he's struggling." And it's like, yeah, it takes time.
That happens.
Yeah,
Rookies.
yeah. I literally screamed at my phone because I was like, "Yeah, no shit, he's gonna struggle. It's the NFL. It's his second day at the job."
I know he hasn't played he hasn't played an actual NFL game,
Yeah,
a regular season game, but I think from what I've seen, he has such a high ceiling to where he could be a franchise guy for many, many years to come.
which is what we want because we like having one guy for 20 years.
Yeah. Next was Zack Wilson with an 85.7.
Was not surprised.
He was rocking. I don't know what happened in week 3 because he was rocking like a 137 after 2 games, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, which is why NFL Network would not shut up about this guy. They were just
because he's good.
No, I'm not. I know, but they were in love with Zack Wilson, and again for good reason. He's a good quarterback.
I was in class yesterday, and there's my professor walks in. It's first day of class, and he's got a Jets face mask on.
Yikes.
And one of the kids asks him, we're like doing like something on the side or whatever.
Yeah.
One of the kids asks me, goes, "I'm a Jets fan. Do you think Zack Wilson is the answer?" And he just goes, "I just hope he's not another Sam Darnold."
Oh.
And the kid just goes, "He's not even that bad. Adam Gase ruined the team." And out of nowhere, I just go, "Yeah, blame the coach." But no, Zack Wilson has played well. I have nothing to dislike about him. I think he might struggle just coming out of BYU. He might struggle against like some like of the tough NFL defenses. But
give him
I think Mac
couple
Jones
years.
is definitely the most ready.
Yeah, give Zack Wilson a couple years. He'll look a lot better. And then number 1 overall since high school, Trevor Lawrence with a 78.3. He has such a heavy weight on his shoulders to be the best, and I think it's too much, and I think it might be getting to him a little
Yeah.
bit.
I think what I'm seeing from him is he has the most bust potential right now.
Yeah, because if he's
I know
not
we're about
amazing,
to talk. I know we're about to talk about Justin Fields, but I think Trevor Lawrence has like a huge potential to bust.
if he's not amazing, they're not gonna want him because
Yeah,
he's
because
expected to be the guy, the answer, take him to the postseason.
this man has been hyped up as the greatest thing since Peyton Manning for 5 years, and now we're seeing him, and he's performing average, and everyone's like, "Wait, what?" And that's partially because he has no weapons. You know, he went to Clemson, where you get some of the top wide receiver like recruits.
Yeah,
He has no O line. Also, goes to Clemson, had some of the top O line recruits. So you get this guy who's been behind an elite O line with elite talent to throw to, and a sturdy defense to put up or to prevent points for the other team, and you send him to Jacksonville with one of the worst O lines in the league, almost no weapons to speak of, and one of the worst defenses in the
one of the
league.
weapons that they drafted is out for the season.
Yep, ETN is out. So you take this guy who's been with great people and you put him with the worst team, he's gonna struggle. Like, it's gonna happen. If he's not the Messiah this year, then you get a good draft pick and you draft something to help him. That's what this is. Utilize free agency. I'm sure Jacksonville isn't using up a lot of cap space right now,
No,
unless they're still somehow paying Jalen Ramsey, which they might be. But it's just give it some time, and if he still,
I think
they just need to be patient,
I don't think he's gonna be a bust. I think he's just gonna be one of those guys that takes a minute to get ready,
like
and
a
then
Josh Allen type.
yeah, no, exactly. And then I don't think he's gonna be the next Josh Allen and be like real good. They're gonna pay him all this money. I think he's gonna be like, yeah, he has highlight plays here and there. He's a decent quarterback.
I think he could be the next Josh Allen because look at what they did for Josh
Oh
Allen in
no, of
Buffalo.
course they
They
could.
got him Stephon Diggs.
Yeah,
They built a defense that like was pretty solid. Buffalo has probably top 10 defense. Um, they gave him Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley and an O line who doesn't give up as many sacks as some other teams. Cough cough Giants. But and like he balled out. MVP runner up this year. So I think give him 2 or 3 years and Trevor Lawrence will break out. But Jacksonville needs to be patient and not give up on him. That's the biggest thing.
yeah.
Because if they give up on him, they're just a bad organization at that point. They can't start blaming him for stuff like, oh, why did he make this decision to throw to them? They weren't even looking. He got it out too quick. Well, yeah, he got out too quick because he was about to take a sack. All right. So give him some time. He'll be good.
I think he also might if they don't, which I don't think they're gonna do amazing this season. So they're gonna have a nice pick to get him a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
You're still. I think he still might perform. Well, and then it'll be like, well, why isn't the team doing good? It's like because he's outperforming the team.
Yeah.
He's throwing too quick to a receiver who's not gonna look that quick, but a better receiver would. You get
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence as
because
Stephon Diggs. He looks back at the quarterback and makes that catch. You get him, whoever, and he's not going to have the playmakers that he needs.
yeah, the best receiver on the team is DJ Chark, and that's saying something because he's not great, but he might be the worst wide receiver one in the league. one of the worst, besides the Lions, which we'll get to. But Marvin Jones was good for the Lions last year. And then Chenault has been meh. But you don't really have too many weapons for him. Battle line, no weapons, and defense is kind of horrendous. So
I still think he has a shot though to like again, if I made this argument in the first episode where you can see somebody ball out and it doesn't really mean that the team's bad, and he could end up just like leaving Jacksonville,
yeah,
which is a very big possibility because if Jacksonville doesn't get him who he needs, he'll be like, well, why should I stay when somewhere is going to pay me a lot of money?
Yeah, and Jacksonville is just known to be a bad organization too. Like, look at what they did after they made the AFC Championship. They just blew the whole thing up. Everyone just left. And they were like, yeah, the organization's kind of trash. And then all their good players left, and now they got the number 1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence, on their team. So it might be an organizational thing. But I don't know. I really hope it's not a player thing.
No, I think there's a lot of upside to him, but he needs a lot of time for us to like see Trevor Lawrence out of him. But coming in next is Justin Fields, who Anthony and I think might be the draft bust with a 67.5. I'm not turning completely.
That's about right.
I'm not turning completely back, but he did make some good plays in preseason.
I'm not gonna say
he's obviously he was drafted. People in the NFL are drafted because they're the best. He was drafted in the NFL and has been performing with like 2s and 3s, but
yeah, I mean, Andy Dalton is starting.
He's their guy.
The Bears have made that clear since even before they drafted Fields. They were basically like they picked up Andy Dalton and they put out the Twitter post that said QB1 with Andy Dalton. So they're ride or die with him for at least the first couple weeks.
They also said recently, yeah, he's QB1, and people got upset about it. Yeah, like Chicago fans got really pissed off.
I don't know why. You see a man perform against a second string defense
because you get a guy who was almost the number 2 overall pick, and
I don't.
He was thought to be.
Everyone was thinking. I don't think there was enough for him to be the number.
But if you're a Chicago fan, you're thinking, okay, so we have a number 2 overall pick, basically. Why isn't he starting over this old guy? Who was with the Bengals for a while,
and the Cowboys.
And the Cowboys. Yeah, but the majority of his career was the Bengals.
Yeah. I don't know.
I need to see stuff out of him. It's also Chicago. Chicago's not going to be a high playoff winning team for a while. I'll see it when I see it, Bears fans.
Yeah, in the preseason, okay. I thought they were going to play bad teams in the preseason, but I was wrong. They played the Dolphins, Bills, and Titans.
Yeah.
So the entire point that I was about to bring forward, it's gone. Sorry. I was going to say, if they played bad teams, then he's like making some plays over bad defenses. And the Dolphins don't have a great defense, and the Titans' defense has regressed. But this is just me making excuses for myself. Yeah, Justin Fields, he knows how to move the ball. The issue is, can he stay healthy and can he do it consistently?
He the way he ran the ball, like he chose to, he ran way too much into people, and if he takes hits like those too much, he's gonna be another Cam Newton where he can be good and then he regresses.
When he was at Ohio State and he like ran into I think it was the Clemson game and for the playoffs.
Yeah.
He was just running, and he sees the linebacker just coming straight at him. He goes in low for the tackle. He makes a clean hit, and he just doesn't move. He's just kept standing up. Maybe he tried to get out of the way, try to get a little fancy with it, but like he got like a helmet straight to the rib, and that like it looked like it hurt. He was in a lot of pain afterwards, and if he keeps making mistakes like that, then
You're not going to
he might
stay
not
healthy
be.
in the league.
He's not going to be around because linebackers hit way harder than that in the NFL.
God, yeah.
So I think a 67.5 is about where I'd expect him. It's not anywhere near the best, but it's enough to make an impression to your head coach, maybe, to be like, okay, he can play in this league. But I'm still skeptical.
The player that I thought was going to get a higher grade, Trey Lance, the Trey area over in San Fran with a 56.7.
So there's a lot of talk right now about them using a quote-unquote quarterback platoon over in San Francisco.
Yeah, the dual quarterback system.
Where you alternate them by series and by what each skill set that each player has with Garoppolo and Trey Lance.
That's such a
dumb
Kyle
idea.
Shanahan idea.
It is such
a Kyle Shanahan idea.
He's a smart guy.
No, that's
Kyle
what I'm
Shanahan
saying
is
is because his
guy.
offensive schemes are so strange that they work that this is probably gonna work for them.
I don't know. I don't think it'll work. And well, Trey Lance right now is out with a chipped finger. I don't know what a chipped finger means, but Trey Lance is currently out with it.
He's got a hangnail.
Is that what that is?
I don't. You wouldn't take him out for a hangnail.
Let me find the Schefter about it today.
Yeah, let's see. But I
do. Much news today that I cannot find it.
I do like the Trey area. That's a good like I don't know if it's a nickname or a chant. I like it.
Yeah, a small chip in his finger and is expected to miss about a week.
What hand?
I don't know. I'm just reading. I listen. Schefter tweeted about this once and has yet to mention it again.
Left and right hand is very different.
No, it's very different, but still, he's expected to miss a week, which means he's missing the final week of practice before week 1. Which, who do they play week 1? They play Detroit. Oh,
it's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Dude, their first 2 games are in Detroit and in Philly. Those are 2 away wins, no matter what.
I don't know. There's a new QB in town for the Eagles.
No. So Trey Lance did not perform as a lot of people wanted, but I think
people are asking way too much out of these rookie quarterbacks just because Herbie balled out last year. Justin Herbert with the Chargers, he balled the hell out. He had an amazing season, and now it's a expectation, and I hate it.
The thing people don't realize is Trey Lance was never supposed to start week 1. He was never supposed to start this year. Yeah. I don't think.
No, they've been saying Jimmy is our guy, and
not initially. They were saying we're gonna see what happens, but right now Jimmy's our guy. But like, you got a guy coming out of North Dakota State. He hasn't played a professional football game in over 400 days. So FCS school, he's already not playing top opponents. He hasn't played football in over a year. Like, you don't expect this guy, you don't draft this guy at number 3 so that he can come in and ball out. That's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. You drafted this guy so he can sit behind Garoppolo for 1 or 2 years, learn from one of the best, And Garoppolo, 22-8 as a starter in San Francisco.
Jimmy Garoppolo is a great quarterback.
I think he's a good quarterback. One of the most underrated. I want to put him in like a top 10. He might slip into my top 15, but he is a
He'd slip
good
into my
quarterback.
top 15.
Yeah, but he is a really good quarterback.
He just
led
gets
them to the
injured.
Super Bowl, and yeah, very injury prone. So if Trey Lance can sit behind a healthy Garoppolo with Kyle Shanahan, one of the greatest offensive masterminds in the NFL in a while,
Yeah.
I think there's a good chance Trey Lance can, 3 or 4 years down the line, be a really good NFL starter.
No, yeah, completely right. Not much more to say about that.
Yeah. So that's all for the headlines. Let's get to some preseason game highlights. So there were three there were 3 Hail Marys. And I think that was very funny. At the end of 3 games, someone caught a ball in the end zone that could have decided the outcome to the game. So the first one I want to talk about is the Jets. I'm not even going to mention players because none of them made the active rosters. I checked into all of this. No, the only player that we're about to talk about that made an active roster is Mike Glennon, the GOAT.
I
Um,
know what play you're talking about. I watched it. Yeah.
So the Jets hit a Hail Mary against the Eagles, and then they made a 2-point conversion, and that tied it at 31 with like 4 seconds left, I think. And so the game just ends in a tie because there's no overtime in preseason. And I think that's such a fitting way for the Eagles to leave preseason, is with a tie
Yeah.
against the Jets of all teams. So congrats to them, I guess. The Dolphins went on a Hail Mary against the Bengals. The Bengals kind of shit the bed. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, that play
game.
was dumb.
Just in this game.
Oh yeah, that too.
Um,
But the Bengals is the Bengals.
the Bengals is the Bengals. I don't know, Joey B's the savior. But you gotta build a team around him.
You gotta make him not die.
You gotta build a team around him. And finally, we're gonna get into a long conversation here because I got a lot to say about this one. Mike Glennon hits someone, I think it was Willis or something, for a Hail Mary, and then we missed the 2-point conversion.
The coverage on that ball was so bad.
Oh yeah,
the coverage on that ball was so bad.
It was not a good play. And then just to cap it off, we missed the conversion and lose the game. So
hell yeah, you do.
Shout outs to Mike Glennon. But the big thing I picked up from that Giants-Patriots preseason game was our O-line is so bad. We put in our first stringers for the first quarter and a half maybe.
Yeah, get them some reps.
Get them some reps. And they did not look good. Will Hernandez looked good. He had a 92.2 PFF grade. But the next best was Nate Solder, getting reps at right tackle with a 63.3 PFF grade. So a nearly 30-point difference between first and second best offensive linemen. Andrew Thomas had a bad game. He gave up 2 sacks and 14 pressures or something like that. Something dumb. He ended with a 53.4 grade. Nick Gates, our guard turned center last season, finished with a 60.9. He didn't do too great. Matt Pert led up 2 sacks, I think. He ended with a 48.5. So there's
there's 3 tackles, a guard, and a center in that list, and only I think he's our right guard, Hernandez, had higher than a 65. So Giants today, active rosters finalized at 4 p.m. today.
Yeah.
We made 2 trades today. We traded BJ Hill and a 7th to the Bengals for interior lineman Billy Price, who has apparently missed time with injury.
Yeah, which is
Big
where you want to
shock.
go shopping is the Bengals line.
Yeah, you really want to go shopping to where whoever the fuck let Joe Burrow tear his ACL.
Die.
Yeah, and then Ben Bredesen, I think is how you pronounce his name. So we traded a 4th for him. Yeah, we traded our 4th round pick for 2022. We received this interior lineman, the 5th round pick that the Ravens got from the Orlando Brown trade, and the Ravens' 7th round pick in 2023. So we get 2 picks and a player for a 4th round pick. That does not tell me a lot. However, it does give me hope because he's from the Ravens, and the Ravens' offensive line is kind of good.
Always is pretty good.
It's always been kind of good. I'm gonna look up this guy. Did you watch the game?
The Pats Giants game?
Yeah.
Not all of it because it started early.
Did it?
Yes, it started at 6. The other game started at 7.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no. I only watched the highlights because I didn't get to catch the game because I was busy at work.
Nice.
I think it ended when I got home.
Okay.
But I was paying attention to
Mac
and cheese being mac and cheese.
He's I don't think he can be mac and cheese anymore, but
no.
We'll get to that later. All right, so this is all I got from him. Is he was a 4-year player at Michigan. He was a captain, first team All Big Ten in his sophomore and junior season. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good college stats. He was a 2020 4th round pick. And he played in 10 games, mostly on special teams. It just says he was inactive for 6 games, which I don't know if that's injury or COVID, because the Ravens did have a little bit of a COVID problem.
Yeah.
But hopefully he's good. I think he's gonna start for us just because of
the problem
what he has. Yeah, just because of our problems and what he has to offer. So what I'm reading, he has a very high ceiling, and we don't really know the floor because he's only played in 10 games. But I'm not terribly upset with this. But God, our O-line sucks. I don't even know what to do to fix it. I think this next draft, we just need to draft 5 more offensive linemen, and that's it. That's what we need to do.
You're kind of giving up all your draft picks.
Yeah, I know, but listen, the rest of the team isn't bad. That's the thing.
No.
We have decent depth in our secondary. Our front 7 is pretty good. It's not terrible. Our receiver position is very deep. We have some decent running backs, and if Daniel Jones is the guy, then he is the guy.
I want Danny Dimes to succeed just because it's Danny Dimes.
Yeah, I bought a jersey for him, so I really hope he succeeds. But our offensive line is our weakest position by a country mile. So yeah, that's the Giant. That's my take on the Giant situation. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, Nacho.
This is okay.
because we talked about the Bengals already, so I just want to finish off the Bengals.
Joe Burrow went in for 3 snaps and he did nothing.
And he did just all right. He went in for one series. I think Zach Taylor just said, "You're going to go in for one series." And that's it. And he's like, all right. He threw one pass to, I don't even remember who,
He threw a pass.
for 2 yards. He threw a pass for 2 yards. And then it's like, all right, that's cool. 2nd and 8. And then he threw a pass to Jamar Chase. And then Jamar Chase dropped it.
Yeah, Jamar Chase.
Like actually, it hit his hands while he was wide open. And then it hit the floor.
Jamar Chase has not been LSU Jamar Chase in the NFL.
I watched that play, and I laughed a lot. That was so funny. And then on top of that, he got called for unsportsmanlike or unnecessary roughness or something, like on that play, which includes the loss of down. So the next play that gets brought up, so it goes from 2nd and 8 to 3rd and 23 off of a dropped pass. And then they just run it with Joe Mixon for a couple yards and punt the ball away. And that's Joe Burrow's preseason debut. That's his first ever preseason game. Because there wasn't a preseason last year. So, what were your thoughts? Oh, I just hit my mic. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, they're obviously being really cautious with them because they don't want their, precious new car to get a scratch on it, because a scratch might blow up the car. If you get me.
Yeah.
I mean, what one series isn't gonna be the tell-all for how the season will go. Let me repeat myself. For Joe Burrow, it won't be the tell-all. I don't know how the Bengals will do, but I feel like you can see Joe Burrow pulling off his Heisman moments in the NFL. Because he's just a good quarterback I think he's gonna do good.
I thought he did really good last year. He just got killed by his offensive line.
Oh yeah, that's what I was saying.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
And I said they should have drafted Penei Sewell.
They should have, and they didn't because he wanted his friend. Overall. Because they have Thaddeus Moss and they have Jamar Chase, so it's like, LSU days.
The Bengals receiving core is sneakily good. Because they have Tyler Boyd, and T. Higgins, and Auden Tate. That is a solid 1, a very, very solid 2, and a pretty good 3, who's underrated, Auden Tate, by the way. So, the offensive line is struggling. You clearly saw that in the way that they broke Joe Burrow. And you decide to pass on possibly one of the greatest college pass protectors we've seen in years.
Do you think on draft day Joe Burrow was upset that they weren't getting him protection, or was he like, yeah, my friend?
I think either way it was a win-win for him. He's like, okay, get Jamar. I have chemistry with him. There's he's a good receiver. Well, he's supposed to be a receiver.
He's supposed to be good.
He's supposed to be a good receiver. That's fine. And if we get Penei, I don't get my friend, but I get to keep my leg in one piece.
I get to stay in the league.
Yeah. So I think if I were in the Bengals war room, I would have taken Penei. I would have strongly urged whoever the Bengals GM to get Penei Sewell. And now Penei just gets to rot away in Detroit. It makes me mad.
And he gets to make the Pro Bowl every year, and then he's like, "Oh, you
not do anything.
No, he's with Detroit."
Yeah, he's never gonna get a ring. So rest in peace.
Unless he leaves, because
unless he leaves, which come to the Giants? Question mark.
Now you may be wondering what this title is all about. Your favorite player most
We're
definitely
we
get cut.
skipped over stuff, right?
Yeah.
Remember how we skipped over stuff? We're gonna go back to that.
Oh, why?
What do you mean why?
Nah.
It's because we skipped over it.
Nah.
We're gonna go. All right, we're gonna go to Trevor Lawrence again. The reason he got an almost 80 PFF grade is mostly because of this last game. He went 11 for 12, almost 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did good, played well. He looked like an NFL quarterback.
He looked good, yeah.
I think some of the offensive linemen were back, but again, both of the touchdowns were to Schnall. So, no depth at receiver. You got James Robinson running, and if the offensive line performs well against NFL-ready defenses, then maybe Trevor Lawrence will do good, but he needs to put up enough points to where the defense doesn't blow it for him. Because that's really another one of my big concerns, is the defense has to not blow it for him. You got anything to add?
Not really. I mean, he played like Trevor Lawrence. How you think he would do? He did good. It's preseason. He played with secondaries. He needs more weapons, and he'll play like Trevor Lawrence. That's not to say that the Jaguars are gonna win games, but you're gonna see the offense doing good.
We can skip over the Niners destroying the Raiders. You can talk about your sadness right now.
So the TikTok sensation, he throws it on a dime. Like, he's not even trying. Just a kid from Briarwood. In college, he did wear number 9. Trace McSorley of the Ravens, who got injured with a back injury, I think, and was out for the year, has been released by the Ravens, my new least favorite team.
The Ravens became your least favorite team because
above the Dolphins.
Oh, wow!
Because
that's not saying something.
Because who's gonna realistically, who's picking up Trace McSorley?
No one this year because he's hurt, but next year I think he can come back and try for a roster spot.
That's what I'm saying. The Patriots need quarterbacks. We kind of only have Mac Jones.
Yeah, but he's injured this year.
Next year.
Next year, yeah.
Who are we gonna have next year? Jared Stidham, Brian Hoyer? No. Sorry, yeah, you guys had your shot. Your media day with you in the stupid throne. You had your shot. You blew it. You're not our quarterback. Get out. I'm sorry. You did what you did. You didn't do it good. I don't want you as my quarterback. Trace McSorley's just better than you.
And on that note, Cam Newton got released today as well. Which
is why there's no backup, and Mac is QB1 for the Patriots.
Yeah, and there is no QB2.
Very sad. But it does make sense because Bill Belichick always wanted to do what's best for the team, what's going to get them wins. He clearly saw that Mac was going to win them games over Cam, which is I would have maybe not put him in this early, but if I obviously don't see everything behind the scenes. If Bill says it's ready, then he's ready. I would have kept Cam as a good veteran presence for him, but the thing is, Cam doesn't want to do that. Cam wants to be a QB1. Yeah, he does.
The quarterback version of Juju.
He's gonna just not. He's gonna complain. He's gonna be annoyed that he's not QB1, and I'm sure he would embrace whatever role he was given as well as he
No,
could for as long as he could before
I don't
he's
think he
like,
would have.
well, I mean, if he would,
I think if you tell Cam, you're a backup right now. You're gonna sit for the entire year as far as we're concerned, and the only way you're getting on the field is if that guy gets hurt. I don't think Cam goes, okay, coach, and then walks away. I think he's gonna be like, are you kidding me? I don't want to be on this team if I'm not playing. That's always been his mentality. It's been I start or I'm not in the league. And right now, I don't think there's a place for Cam in the league.
I do.
Where?
So it's a common theme with this guy who gets ousted by other quarterbacks. Our 0-17 Texans.
I saw something that said Cam to the Texans.
In it, yeah, I saw probably the same thing, and it's the only thing that makes sense for Cam to play this year.
It is the only if he wants to play this year, that is the only team
that would take him.
That would take him. Because you think every other team, there is a quarterback surplus currently. There's too many good quarterbacks that there aren't enough teams for. Unironically, Mitch Trubisky. Why is he a backup?
I've been saying it I love Mitchell Trubisky. I think he's a good quarterback, and people just shit on him because he didn't do good on the Bears, and people get upset with it. And it's like, what do you?
People get upset at Chicago People get upset at Chicago quarterbacks for not doing good, and it's just I think it's a Chicago coaching thing. Chicago has always been defense first, worry about offense later. And they do have a pretty solid defense.
Yeah.
But the reason that they're still mediocre and they go 8-8 every year is because they never they have Allen Robinson and that is it on offense. That is your only true offensive weapon. Who have been the quarterbacks for the Bears? You've had Trubisky, who was before who was before Trubisky? I know that Nick Foles was in there somewhere. But was Jay Cutler the quarterback before Trubisky?
I think so. Yeah, I think it was Jay Cutler. They may have had someone
in between
a stint in. I don't pay attention to the Bears.
I'm gonna look this up.
I'm pretty sure Jay Cutler was in before.
Let's look up Bears starting quarterback history.
That's what I'm looking at.
List of Chicago Bears starting history.
It was Jay Cutler.
And then before that, it was Kyle Orton and Rex Grossman. I cannot the only notable player in the entire history of Chicago Bears quarterbacks. I can name 2 players. I can name Sid Luckman, just because he's a Hall of Famer, and I can name Jim Harbaugh. Just because it's Jim Harbaugh, and he's coach, and he coaches Michigan, and it's bad. He's not a great college coach either, especially against Ohio. But you've never had a great quarterback in Chicago ever.
Yeah.
So why Trubisky just being bad is just part of the it's just part of the game.
And I think Mitch can start in the league. I think he's minimum talent for a league starter. And as a backup, a very good backup.
Yeah. He could be a league starter in a couple cities, but if you put him in a backup role, I think he can go into a game if someone gets hurt and perform very well. So I think the Bills are lucky that they have him as a backup. But yeah. So next person who was released on cut day. This kind of like caught my attention. Rashad Perriman getting released from the Lions. Just why? I don't understand this move at all. He was good on the Jets. And then he signed a 1-year deal in free agency with Detroit. And they just release him. And now the Lions wide receivers are just bad. Like, if you look at the Lions wide receiver depth chart, it is Tyrell Williams, Khalif Raymond, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. How many of those could you have named, Nacho, if I hadn't just named that?
I couldn't. Just genuinely, I couldn't.
You just couldn't. I could have named Amon-Ra St. Brown because he was a second-round draft pick, I think, for Detroit. And then you got T.J. Hawkinson and DeAndre Swift, and that's it. Those are your offensive weapons. And then Jared Goff to throw.
Jared Goff isn't like a bad quarterback. I
think Jared Goff is.
He gets a bad rap.
Slightly better than Mitch Trubisky.
I would agree.
Not a lot better, but slightly better. He could start for a couple teams like the Lions, which he is starting for. But he could be a very good backup in like almost
anywhere. I would take him as a backup any day.
Yeah. But the Lions defense is just bad.
The Lions is just bad.
Their offensive line isn't bad.
Yeah.
They have Frank Ragnow and Penei Sewell.
They just drafted.
It's just they can't do anything with it on offense. They can't like use that protection for good.
Their protection is going to be so good that they just get tired, and then a sack happens.
Oh, another thing from the Lions that I just remembered as I'm looking at the depth chart. I had put it on the list, but as I was looking at it, the Lions had 2 kickers on their depth chart this morning. They currently have 0. They cut both kickers that they had. And I think that's hysterical because there's just no one on the depth chart now. It's just blank.
They couldn't choose. They were like, which one is it?
Choose, so they released both.
Neither.
Yeah, how about neither of them?
Or what if they were just like ride or die friends?
They still have a punter, and the punter
you
is
mean
the holder.
Punter and kicker and holder?
No. Yeah, they have punter and holder, Jack Fox, and then there's nothing for kicker. So
Penei Sewell.
And I don't even know why they Penei Sewell kicking.
Yeah, why not?
All right, they're gonna sign that safety from was it the Bears or the Texans? It was the Texans. Did you see that safety from the Texans do the opening kickoff?
Yeah, from the Texans, yeah.
They're gonna sign him.
I mean, better than what they got now.
Yeah, because right now they have nothing. But one of the kickers they released was Zane Gonzalez, who I had on my fantasy team last year. And like he performed very well. Like he only missed a handful of kicks. But yeah.
But they just drafted their new kicker.
Sewell is not their new kicker.
Yeah, he is.
No.
First rounder.
I thought that the Lions had a really good draft this year. But the team is still so bad that they're going to need about 3 more of these types of drafts to do well. Like they drafted Penei Sewell, again, top line talent.
which
Amon-Ra
they
St.
should not
Brown.
have gotten.
Yeah. I don't know how he fell to, what is it, 6? Do they have? Yeah, 6. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown was a good receiver, and there was a deep receiver class this year. But out of USC, he's pretty good. And then they drafted Ifeatu Melifonwu out of Syracuse, underrated cornerback in the league. His brother Obi Melifonwu went to UConn.
Hey.
So shout out to him. But the Lions are still going to be dog shit this season. So the next player that got released is Devontae Freeman. He signed with the Saints, or he was on the Saints for like a 1-year deal or something. After being a stud on the Falcons. Injury kind of got to him a little bit, so the Falcons didn't pursue him again in free agency. And then no team really did. Which, that shocked me last year a lot, was that no team wanted this running back who 2 years prior had been a, like, fantastic running back. Like, in the Super Bowl. And then he went to the Giants on a 1-year, backed up Saquon, got like a little bit of, he took over for Saquon after Saquon got injured. Because, that kid can't stay healthy. Really hope he does this year, but
I also hope he does. He's fun to watch.
Yeah. But he went on to go to the Saints for this offseason, and then he gets cut. And I don't know why. I haven't seen film on him for a while because he hasn't been playing, but I just want to know why. Why'd you cut him? I want to see him. He's a fun running back to watch too. Like that dude, you look at him, he is tiny. What are his
He's
I look up his
5'8".
height and weight. Yeah, he's tiny for an NFL player.
5'8", 206.
That dude's tiny.
That is a small dude.
That is a small dude. So, like, I really want to see him succeed. He's another fun player to watch because he will just go through people. Like, there'll be 2 guys go like on the defensive line, be ready to tackle him, and you just go through him, and it's really funny. Yeah, like you see him stand.
I Google searched him, and there's a picture of him running next to a lineman, and he is nearly half the size.
Listen, I watched all the Giants games last year, and he was in a couple of them. Watching him, look up a picture of him in the huddle. When he gets in the huddle, it's like, who's this middle schooler they're playing with?
Let's take a peek. Oh, that's a small guy. Anyway.
Yeah. He's so tiny.
I don't know if we talked about it, but Patriots news, Brian Hoyer got cut.
Oh, yeah.
All he did was hand the ball off in the postseason. It's okay.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
Yeah, he'll probably be signed to the practice squad, and then
because
I don't know why.
Need a backup.
I looked at the Patriots depth chart for this, and it might have been before we started the actual recording. But there were 6 running backs on the depth chart, and there was 1 quarterback, and that 1 quarterback is Mac Jones.
Yeah.
So if Mac Jones for some reason goes down, which I doubt will happen, who else is there? Also, who else is there to practice?
We run Wildcat.
Yeah, you're gonna run Wildcat with James White or Damian Harris. Which one? Which one of your 6 running backs knows how to throw a ball?
No, we the running back hands off to a running back.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
We got enough to do that.
Hell yeah, we do.
But I don't know. I don't know why. Speaking of quarterbacks getting cut, though, Ben DiNucci and Garrett Gilbert got cut from the Cowboys. So, do with that information what you will. I remember when I went to school with the Cowboys fan, and he was watching the Ben DiNucci game, and he was just so upset. Watching him play against the Eagles last year. And it wasn't even his fault.
I mean, not to cut across this point, but the Eagles
Yeah.
have traded for Gardner Minshew, which like seconds after Trevor Lawrence was named QB1 in Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think Trevor was named QB1. Was that before or after last episode? I think it was before last episode.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think Trevor Lawrence was named starter like the day of the last episode. And then on Saturday, Minshew goes to the Eagles for a conditional sixth. So it's like if Minshew starts, I think 30% of the Eagles snaps this year, Eagles that turns from a sixth round pick to a fifth round pick. Which Urban Meyer really had us thinking there was a quarterback competition.
We all secretly knew there wasn't.
He faked everyone out though. Like, you can't just say there's not, like, there is a very clear quarterback competition we're going to have to see. And then once someone wins it, you ship them off somewhere else for a conditional sixth. That pick barely matters at that point. When you're talking about, like, new, like...
Minshew's better than a conditional sixth.
Minshew's much better than a conditional sixth. I think the Eagles got a...
The Eagles got an A+ on this trade.
As they should have. They swindled him.
Yeah, the Eagles just got a great value out of this trade.
And today, Nick Sirianni, the Eagles head coach, did name Jalen Hurts the starter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that today. So Minshew will be on the bench. But yeah, the NFC East quarterback competition.
He's wearing number 10 in Philly.
Is he?
He's wearing number 10.
He's wearing Deshaun Jackson's number. I thought they'd retire that by now. That's funny. I'm a big fan of that. What's next? Will Grier. Will Grier gets cut after. Honestly, I watched the parts of the Panthers preseason game. He did good. I don't know why teams are running with only 2 quarterbacks now. I like the 3 quarterbacks just in case.
Yeah.
Especially when you have Sam Darnold and PJ Walker.
I'd rather have 3 than 1.
When you have Sam Darnold and PJ Walker as your 1 and 2 quarterbacks, I think having a third option would be good in most scenarios. Because Sam Darnold, you have no idea how he's going to perform, really. You don't know how he's going to, be with, who. They don't have a lot of good receivers. They're just going to hand the ball off to McCaffrey. And that's going to be that. But Will Grier is going to join his brother as a TikTok star.
Man.
Did you know that?
No.
Will Grier's brother, it's Nash Grier. He made a couple vines back in the day, and then TikTok came out, and he's like, ooh. Um. Oh, the Panthers have Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore. So never mind on what I said about no weapons. They're pretty good.
Um,
Um.
what could be a league transaction is the Deshaun Watson situation is quite heating up.
Yeah, nothing happened before today though, so I don't know if it's gonna happen. Because roster's finalized.
Oh,
So
that's
I could still
true.
they could still make a trade technically, but I think it'd have to be player for player
Oh, that would mean Tua is gone.
because they can't go over.
That would mean Tua would be gone.
Do you think? All right, so we're talking about Deshaun Watson again. We talk about him every episode, but we're not gonna get into what he's done off the field. We're gonna go into his on-field performance. So the Dolphins are the front runners for him currently.
I don't
You
get
know,
why.
whether trade talks are still going. Well, because he has a say over where he goes. That's the thing.
That's true, yeah.
Deshaun has a say in where he goes. It's in his contract. The other places they were considering were Carolina, Denver, Philly, and I think Chicago.
Denver's not a bad spot.
Yeah, but he denied Denver.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So the only one that he has yet to deny that has interest in him and like there's serious talks going on is Miami, which would most likely mean Tua or Jacoby Brissett,
Oh, I forgot about Jacoby Brissett.
who's Miami's backup. They go to Houston, and honestly, they'd probably back up Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah,
I would start Tyrod Taylor definitely over Brissett. I might start him a game or two over Tua, just until Tua learns the system.
until Tyrod Taylor gets injured.
Yeah, until his lung gets punctured again. Yeah, we were talking about this when we saw the trade talks. What if Tyrod Taylor just loses his
Gets
starting
ousted
job
to basically a rookie.
to another 2020 draft pick? He already lost it to the 6th overall in the Chargers, and now he'll lose it to the 5th overall in Tua if this trade happens. But
Which will be, I mean, sucks for the man. Like, that's so unfair.
Tyrod Taylor he's just lived an unfortunate career. So
Yeah.
much potential. It's just someone better has always come in. He's like one of those career journeymen, like Ryan Fitzpatrick. You sign him to a 1 year, he can take your team to like be halfway decent, and then he's off to somewhere else when they draft a quarterback.
It's so unlucky,
Tyrod,
but
yeah. But do you hope this? What do you hope to see out of this Deshaun and Miami situation?
I don't know because Deshaun in my division, I will be so upset.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Deshaun is just gonna stay.
And also, who drafts a quarterback that high and just sits him after you've been preaching how much better this guy is getting?
That's true.
They've been absolutely preaching that his second year has been skyrocketing in skill and performance, and he knows the playbook now, and he's been, working hard. And then you just sit him. Like, you don't do that.
It's about to be Jalen Hurts when Gardner Minshew steps up.
That's true.
But I don't think it's gonna happen. One is because the Texans, like Deshaun has already said he's not playing for the Texans. Like he's already said that. I don't know why he's still on the active roster, but
so they can get value out of him.
Yeah, he's still paying, like, the Texans are still paying his salary. His, like, $10 million salary this year. Yeah, Houston is paying that to him to sit on the bench and complain.
Yeah, and
And I think he gets paid that even if they cut him. So they're really just using him for trade value now. Second, do you know what Houston is asking for?
it was like 3 firsts and 2 seconds or something like that.
Yeah. So when you're asking for 3 firsts, 2 seconds, and possibly a player, like,
yeah, it's
no
Deshaun
one.
Watson. He's super good. Who gives up 3 future first rounders for
I
a
wouldn't.
playoff
I
run?
wouldn't. I would pay that. I would make that trade for 3 people: Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Aaron Rodgers. Those are the only 3 people I would even consider making that trade for.
And you would have
And
to,
only Josh Allen after this year.
yeah,
After what he did last year.
You would have to know how good your team is to make a Super Bowl run. Because if you buy Deshaun Watson for that much, you're making a Super Bowl run and you're going to try your best to get the chip. And if
Miami currently does not have that.
Which is why they shouldn't do it. No, if they buy Deshaun Watson for that much money, not money, but value,
yeah,
they're not going to get their value worth. They're just going to lose to Josh Allen. They're going to not make the AFC Championship, and they're not going to get their Super Bowl run. And it's just not worth it right now. In my opinion, it's not worth it right now for anybody to buy Deshaun Watson. It's not worth it.
It's not.
It's just not.
It's
even before, even though because he was supposed to go like before today. I don't even think he would have gone. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Nobody's in that dire, desperate need.
He wants to win a ring before his career is ended by either him being in the league for so long or
him getting massages.
This allegation, yeah. He wants to win a ring, and that's why he chose Miami. But Miami's not ready for a Super Bowl run. They just missed playoffs last year. Like, the only teams that win the Super Bowl after missing the playoffs are the Bucks because they got Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Like, it's this whole thing of building up, like, building and rebuilding. It's a process all teams go through. You build up, you get the best players you possibly can, and eventually you'll win. And if things start going to shit, dish everyone out, and you start from the bottom up. Get your capital back up, get people who you think are gonna win, and then you build it up. Miami is currently in like the middle of building up. They're past rebuild, but they're not built, so to say.
They're not done, but they're, they're nearly there.
Give them 2 more years, and they have potential to be in the AFC Championship, depending on much better or worse the AFC gets.
Yeah, because the Jets could become a winning team, possibly. I don't see it happening with, us, but like, say the Jets just go out and buy a bunch of good people and like what the Bucks did. Or say the Patriots, we get our guys healthy, we get Mac starts to figure out NFL, and then the Jets just, have to sit because they're not going to win their divisional games. Who knows how long the Bills are going to last? The Bills have been for a while, and now they're Super Bowl winning team. How long is that going to last?
I think they're going to last for a while. I think they have... their team's young.
That's true.
That's their thing.
Josh Allen's like 24.
Josh Allen's
25?
only going into he's only going into his 4th year. So he's probably 27.
He's 25. 26. I was right.
He's 25.
I saw a thing that like AFC
he's the oldest quarterback in
AFC East only has quarterbacks 25 and younger.
Yeah. I think
Max 22.
Josh Allen's going to be around for a while, so you're probably not going to be winning the AFC East for a while. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, that's true.
Like the Bills in general are just a young team because they rebuilt correctly.
That's
I think
true.
the Bills is the most successful rebuild I've seen in a while.
It took
They
them.
were
It
they
took
were
them
shit.
a while.
2015? They were shit. Perennial bottom of the league, bottom of the AFC, just shit. And that's because they kept getting beat by the Pats twice a year.
Yeah.
And then
But also we
Tom Brady
had a
leaves.
dynasty going on.
Yeah, Tom Brady leaves. That builds up. I'm sure that built up confidence in Josh Allen.
God, yeah.
I'm sure he's like, okay,
His biggest rival
we
is
could win.
gone. He sees a deflated Cam Newton in. You know.
Good use of the word deflated when talking about the Patriots.
Hey, still won the Super Bowl that year, so.
Yeah. But the AFC East is such an interesting, just place.
Oh, Mac Jones' birthday is this weekend. Hey.
Oh, this is good news.
September.
Are you gonna wish him wish him a happy birthday?
September 5th. He'll be 23.
Wow. Happy birthday, Mac Jones.
Happy birthday, Mac Jones.
So after Deshaun and Tua, whatever, the last piece of league transaction news we have is Shaq Lawson to the Jets. I just thought it was really funny that they brought in Shaq Lawson to replace the injured Carl Lawson, and there is no relation between them. And that is the only reason I put it on this list.
Very nice.
All right, moving on. So some injuries. The big one this week was J.K. Dobbins. We found out he tore his Achilles. Was it Achilles or ACL?
It was ACL.
ACL. Out for the season. There goes his second year. What do you think?
God, so many guys are missing the year or majority of a year with these injuries before
A lot of
the
running
season
backs.
started. Yeah,
A lot of running backs.
this is not great for a lot of guys.
A lot of people were slating Dobbins to have a great year. He did pretty good last year in Baltimore. You know, he split snaps with Mark Ingram and Gus Edwards. Then they shipped Mark Ingram off to Houston, and we're gonna go with Dobbins as their guy. And then this happens to Dobbins. So it's really awful to see this happen to such a young, promising guy. Like he was projected to go top 10 running backs in fantasy this year. So it's really sad, but Gus Edwards is now running back 1 in Baltimore.
God, I hate that football team.
Only because it's Trace McSorley too.
I'm salty.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I am. What is it? T.Y. Hilton is out, which means the very promising Michael Pittman Jr. is now the Colts wide receiver 1, which good on him. He's a good receiver. For being his first year last year, he did good.
He definitely had a very good year, and I think the Colts offense, given they have a quarterback,
good offense. That's a good offense.
Is very good. I mean, let's start with the line: Ryan Kelly, Quentin Nelson, and Eric Fisher.
You're not getting a quarterback.
Like, what the fuck?
You're not getting to the quarterback, whoever it is.
That's all on one side of the line.
Yeah.
That is your left. That is your blind side. Your blind side blockers are Eric Fisher, Quentin Nelson, and Ryan Kelly's giving you the ball and Braden Smith's on the other side. You're not getting to the quarterback. Jack Doyle is a pretty solid tight end, I'd say. Very good blocking tight end. You don't see a lot of him because he doesn't do a lot of pass catching, but he adds to that offensive line. If they run a blitz, you still can't get to the quarterback or the running back. Into receivers. What is Ty out with? Like, how long is he out for? Do you know?
I don't, but I'll find that out.
Hilton will miss multiple games to open the season due to a disc issue. Oh, so that could. So this could be from like, or this could be for probably, I'd say, anywhere between like 3 and 10 weeks he could miss.
Yeah.
Because it's a disc issue, so it like they know what it is, they can get to it quick, but like the recovery period, they're probably not going to want to put him into contact drills for a while. But Pittman takes the number 1. Zach Pascal is number 2. What is he out with? COVID. So Zach Pascal's number 2. Paris Campbell, he had a good year last season, right? If I remember correctly. He was another Colts wide receiver who played pretty well. Oh, he had like 1 good game. That's what it was.
Yeah, he did not do.
He had a good game.
Depending on how much he was in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he had 1 good game, and that's all I remember. He had like 6 catches for 70 yards or something.
But I mean, Michael Pittman, absolute stud out of USC. You're gonna see him catching. He had 500 yards last season, as what, the wide receiver 2 or 3. I think he was wide receiver 2.
He started out as 3, I think, and then he worked his way into the 2.
You're gonna see him catching a lot of balls. You're gonna see him making a lot of good plays. I mean, good on him. He's a good player. Good player to have in fantasy.
Yeah, I might. Now that you're saying fantasy,
no, because he was like my idea for. God damn it.
No, I have another league that I'm in. I have the 2nd overall pick, and I think I'm gonna pick up Kamara.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, because I don't know if I want Dalvin Cook. I had him last year, and he was good, but Kamara is also just 3 points. All right. 2 star players were put on the PUP list today, which means that they will miss until at least week 7.
Stephon Gilmore, just rest easy, dude. Just like be good on yourself and stay healthy till you come back.
Stephon Gilmore is one of the key guys.
Yeah.
On defense, he's like lockdown corner. He won Defensive Player of the Year 2 years ago.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Like if you can beat Aaron Donald defensively, you're doing something right. So, I think it's gonna be tough. That's a tough loss for the Pats.
Yeah.
But when he comes back, if he plays well, like as well as he has,
this is good. Yeah.
Good. And then finally, Michael Thomas. He had surgery in the offseason, and he has been just totally dunking on the Saints for how poorly they've been treating him. And
which led to all the he thinks he's gonna all the trade rumors, but
yeah, I think he's just mad that Drew Brees is gone. You know, Drew Brees kind of held the Saints together, and I think having Drew Brees gone is going to rip them apart. So
Michael Thomas. I always think he's an overrated receiver.
He's not bad. I mean, he's
He's slant
obviously.
boy. He plays how I play in Madden. I just run slants all the time, and it works. And
Yeah.
that's all Michael Thomas does. That's why he got most receptions, because he runs 8 yards, cuts, and Drew Brees just knows when to throw it. And now that, no one's going to run that game plan with him ever, I don't think he's going to... I think he's going to regress.
Yeah, Jameis is a playmaker. He wants nice plays.
He wants you to run deep, and Michael Thomas, fuck you. But yeah, speaking of Jameis, he was named the starter,
Which I was not surprised
officially,
about.
which I don't think anyone was. Taysom Hill it's such a niche. His position is yeah, we're gonna have you as a threat that you can throw, and then you can just run it like wild. And then we can also put him at tight end.
Well, he also knew that Drew Brees was potentially going, so he lost weight to be a quarterback. He slimmed out.
And he started, Drew Brees missed a few games last year. He started those games. They won a couple. They made the postseason, but it wasn't enough. I don't think.
No.
I think Taysom Hill is a good backup.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be the star guy, as much as everyone would love to see him.
Oh, of course. I mean,
starting
it's
and,
Taysom Hill.
Playing like he would. Ugh, that'd be so much fun. But Jameis wins the battle, starts for New Orleans.
Ryan Fitzpatrick is QB1 in the Washington football team.
This was another place where I saw Cam rumors.
Yeah.
I saw Cam to Houston and Washington. And I also saw him to Dallas, too. I saw something that sent him to Dallas.
I saw that.
No way that's happening.
You think
No way that
Cam
happens.
could QB1 in Washington?
No. I don't think immediately.
I don't think.
I think Fitzmagic plays until he play if Cam were to go to Washington, he would play until Cam learns the book. And then maybe, depending on how Cam is playing, they start him. But it's such a maybe.
I remember back when before he started with the Pats, it was Cam to Washington.
Yeah.
And then after this season, it was Cam to Washington.
He would be reunited with Ron Rivera. That's another thing. His former head coach in Carolina does coach in Washington. So that could be something. But Fitzmagic wins the starting job. I'm not really surprised, considering that the competition was Taylor Heineke, who has had a good game that he lost in his career, and that is it. And Kyle Allen, too. But, again, Kyle Allen, career backup.
Yeah, and then next up is the Colts until Carson.
Well, Eason was unofficially named. I put him on here because Carson Wentz will most likely not be back.
If you're smart, you don't play him week 1. It's
and Sam Ehlinger went down with an injury this week.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that.
He went down with some injury, I believe. So that leaves literally only Jacob Eason,
who I think was winning it even before the injury.
Yeah. Jacob Eason is a 2020 pick, I believe, out of Washington. If I'm correct, a later round pick. I haven't watched enough of the Colts, but I watched some of Eason's stuff in college, and he was pretty good at Washington. I thought he would have been taken over Jordan Love in last year's draft.
Yeah.
But he wasn't. and the Packers fucked up and took Jordan Love instead of literally any offensive weapon. But Eason starts most likely week 1, unless the Frank Reich wants to be an idiot. And that's all we got for this episode. So give me a hot take, Nacho. Let's hear it.
Hot take. Ooh,
I got one.
good.
Minshew starts by week 4.
Yeah.
I think Minshew wins the job over Jalen Hurts. And I didn't want to bring this up when we were talking about that because I knew this was going to be my hot take. I don't think Jalen Hurts is the answer for Philly. They've never... I mean, Philly's never been a quarterback hotspot, as you might say. I mean, Carson Wentz was okay. You know, he had a good season, and then got
money.
injured, and he got paid, and then he got bad. The last relevant Eagles quarterback I can think of is Michael Vick. So take that as you will. But like the Eagles they've always had decent quarterbacks, but never great. But I think Minshew is gonna start over Hurts just because
I'd like to see
Minshew.
It's Minshew.
He's not gonna shit for 2 weeks again.
Nah, he's just gonna be like he's gonna get in there. He's gonna do good. Hot take.
Yeah.
Mac Jones is gonna be at the least a runner-up for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
I'm with it.
Maybe we'll have to see him play, see the other rookies perform. I'm not saying he's gonna be the Offensive Rookie of the Year. He'll be in question. Is my hot take. It's too early to see because he hasn't played an actual NFL game.
So, who do you think right now is in the running for that Offensive Rookie of the Year? Because I saw like odds and stuff, but what do you think? Who do you think? Like, give me top 5 Offensive Rookie of the Year. Because no one really is going to pay attention to defensive because not as flashy.
That's true.
Plus, I think the first defensive player was taken at like 9th overall.
Let me think. I mean, Mac Jones, obviously.
Yep.
So this is the first NFL draft.
Oh, what the hell? Maybe Trevor Lawrence. He could ball out.
I would put Zack Wilson at 2nd.
Zack Wilson.
I think this year Zack Wilson performs better than Trevor Lawrence. I'd put Trevor Lawrence at like 3rd though.
Oh, I wasn't ranking them in order. I was just naming.
Oh, I was ranking them in order.
I'd
put Kyle Pitts at 4.
Oh, duh, yeah, Kyle Pitts, easy.
I haven't seen anything from Kyle Pitts.
Kyle Pitts over Trevor Lawrence.
He got really. Ooh.
Kyle Pitts is gonna be a more significant player than Trevor Lawrence will be.
I heard, Kyle Pitts was like so hyped up going into the draft. And
because he's good.
Then he got drafted, and then I heard nothing about him for a month.
This is true.
And then he signed his deal, highest rookie tight end deal ever. And then he signed the deal, and then I had not heard from him again. And preseason, I don't watch the Falcons. I'm sorry to any Falcons fans, but you're not a good team, and I'm not watching you in the preseason. So I just have not heard anything from him. I don't know. I'm gonna look that up now. How's he been?
What was his was it Elijah Moore who went to the Jets?
Ooh, yeah. I think Elijah Moore could make a run at it.
I think that, Jamar Chase has got to pick up the pace, but I don't think he's making it. I don't think he's going to do it.
No?
No. He hasn't been, he's supposed to be this like oh great guy, and he's just like not been like what they want.
Yeah, we haven't really seen anything from him yet.
But
And
to be fair, yeah, we need to see a little bit more. I don't think he'll obviously be in question, but I don't think he'll be the guy.
yeah, I agree. I don't know why they took him. I really don't. I think you take Penei Sewell 9 out of 10 times. But guess not.
Who else could be up there?
Kyle Pitts got 1 for 1 with 27 yards in his preseason debut.
You in what?
So Kyle Pitts' preseason debut was in the third week. The last,
So he didn't get to play preseason.
he played 1 preseason game, caught 1 target for 27 yards.
Stud.
Yeah. He took a short pass and just bullied some defenders for 27 yards.
Oh wait, no, I've seen this play. I know the play you're
That's
talking
what,
about.
yeah, that's what happened. And they play against the Eagles in week 1. Such a bad week 1 matchup.
Yep. Mac Jones, top 3 candidate. He's in some big shoes, but he seems confident. I think he can pull something nice off. Gotta be real.
Yeah, I think it's very possible.
All right. Well, I think that's all the topics that we covered. You have any last words?
No, I think that's it. Next week, I think we finally go through the NFL 100 for 2021. Probably go through some matchups for
week 1.
Yeah, go through some week 1 matchups, some predictions, maybe some early awards for who we think's gonna get what. And then then NFL starts September 9th.
Hell yeah, be looking forward to more NFL coverage. We are going to talk about a lot of nice stuff. Look forward to the NFL Top 100. Thanks for watching my Mingas. I love you, and word to your mother.